Kamala Harris. We know it hurt Tim Walz. They had to run away from those previous positions. And he's trying to create that sort of standoff right now. But here's the problem. Most Americans oppose rioting. That's just across the board.
Yeah.
They may generally be like, if there's violence, if police officers are getting hurt, they don't like this.
But they're very much for protests.
But they're for peaceful assembly as enshrined in the First Amendment. But what I think Trump is missing here is seeing U.S. troops on U.S. soil is not a sign of safety and strength. That is not how the American spirit interprets it. It's seen as societal disruption. It's seen as incredibly volatile. And it reminds us of our worst moments in history. After 9/11, after January 6th, after the Rodney King riots, the BLM, times when things were so volatile and society felt like it was really on the brink. That's when you had to deploy U.S.
But he's
troops.
creating it.
But that's what I'm saying. He's misreading how it's going to be interpreted.
That's what I was going to say. You know, let's all be very clear. What's happening in L.A. is a direct result of what ICE is doing in California. It is a direct result of that. This was created by ICE, everything that we're seeing.
By a direction of the U.S. president.
By the direction of the United States and Stephen Miller.
But keep in mind, Gavin Newsom did not ask for them. He did not ask them to come.
That is usually the process.
Protocol.
That's the protocol.
Yeah, okay.
So, you know, I was reading today that CNN is reporting that ICE is now raiding agricultural communities in California, which will really damage the economy of California. And California subsidizes most of the red states in this country. And so those people that voted for Donald Trump are going to be affected by what ICE is doing. The other thing that
let me ask you something. Why don't people know that already? I mean, it's so obvious.
It's so obvious, but this is about economics as well. And I'll also say this. You know, this is. I think Trump is not doing this just for optics. I think that this is a test case so that he can dismantle some of our institutions. I think it's a power grab. I think he is trying to use the might of the military to suppress people's rights. I think that is very clear. When you use the military against your own citizens, that is a sign of fascism. That is just the truth. We've seen it in history over and over and over again. People have to wake up to that.
But I want us to be very careful and not take the bait. The National Guard, the U.S. Marines, I haven't made my point yet. The ICE agents, those are nonpartisan actors for the most part who signed up for jobs, have served under multiple administrations. They did not necessarily sign up to be doing this, and they're following an order of the commander-in-chief. And we could say they could all, I guess, resign en masse tomorrow.
What is the bait?
To start demonizing those individuals as opposed to a
nobody's
president.
demonizing
No one's demonizing them. We're saying this is a result of ICE.
Correct, but I think it's very important to remember it's a commander-in-chief that's made these decisions. They're following orders.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, think back, y'all. Where have you heard that before?
1938.
I'm just following orders by my commander-in-chief.
But again, can I just say, I want to finish.
No, because this is my point. We don't want to be what they were. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
We don't want, you have to look at what began this. There were peaceful demonstrations before there was violence. The violence began when people came in uninvited and did not do what they're supposed to do, which is to let people know that the governor's supposed to say, hey, listen, I need some help. That's how all that goes down.
But I don't blame the National Guard or the,
that's what I'm saying.
Or the Marines for following it.
But we do have to be careful, because when we say things like just following orders, it leads.
Looking at everything, looking at the governor of California, everyone was saying that what really happened is that President Donald Trump wanted the bill to be passed out for $136 million, and California was at first place. They will start with the construction, the farmers, and the protest against that. The governor is, according to the women in the view, the governor did not really allow that to happen because the governor itself was against what President Trump was trying to do. I'm talking about President Trump is trying to, the ICE are coming to take away all the farmers, all the agricultural people that will be picking the fruit. So which is going to affect the American people. Food will be so expensive because The American people themselves don't want to do that type of job. They don't want to go to the farm to pick those fruits. So they depend on the foreigners to pick those fruit for them, which is the immigrant, which are those farmers. So for President Donald Trump to decide, I want to spend 136 million for the eyes, which Gavin Newsom, to him personally, that's not a good idea, because you look at everything. America was built under the foundation for foreign people, for immigrants. It's a mixture of everybody. An immigrant came with their own blend, and when they blended, everything was so good and it was so nice. So actually, what do you really think? Are you in support of what is happening? Whoopi himself said that which is not a good thing, because President Trump cannot just come and want to uproot all what the forefathers have worked for, all what the forefathers have planned. And then they were talking about that they will not mind if governor of California could become the next United States president, which should be cool. According to Joy Behar, she made it plan that will be one of the most handsome president, just like Obama, a president with swag, and Bill Clinton. So actually, what do you really think? Do you think that, but to some people, they don't want Gavin Newsom? According to him, he's very proud, and so they don't want him to be. According to them, they are not in support of what is happening, because looking at everything that is happening again, you see that President Donald Trump have sent some people away from. They have these people from the other Asian country that they deported, and their president did not want them, so they had to go somewhere in Africa and put them there. How can you imagine that they carry you from the United States, for example, and go and dump you on another continent, which you don't even know? They talk about the other boy was dumb in the other country, and he's even he has a bipolar, but he's not taking his medication and he's getting more sick. So actually, what do you really think about? Do you really support what President Donald Trump is doing for the immigrant? Just focusing on immigrant too much? Or what do you really think? Let me see your opinion in the comment section. Thank you again for watching. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and help share the video. Thank you very much. If you want to be receiving videos each time I put on new videos, please do not forget to hit the notification button. It will alert you each time I put new video. You'll be the first to see. Thank you very much, and God bless you.